Hi, this is Nikki and I'm here with another message. And I don't know if you can see in the distance, but there is a white moth that's flying around, which is to go with the message of this morning. And so just what I wanted to share is something that I'm just being guided to share about my journey. And this is all about fighting the fear. And so you know, this journey does put you challenges you at every level and brings people to you that will also challenge you. So this is about fear, about letting go of all fear around abundance, around moving into a new life. Because I've sort of been pushed to, you know, so since I started on this journey, I left my job, set up a lighting business and doing a Airbnb and also doing the healing to make ends meet. Now, one of the things is that my dad left my mum about when all this started happening, basically, and my mum was going to have to leave the house that she lived in, but I didn't want that. So with my severance pay, I gave her half of it so she could keep the house, and then she would pay me back once the divorce settlement went through. Now, both her and my granddad, which is her father, he originally said that he would help her financially because he's quite well off. Anyway, when it came down to it, he didn't, out of fear, because he's of that generation that they hold on to their money. Anyway, so... And my mum, who is her father, is exactly the same. But of course she can't see it. Because people like that, because they're consumed by fear, they only can focus on their own fear, right? So, subsequently, the reason why I say this is because I've just come home again to my mum's. And of course it triggers all this stuff because I think, goodness, I gave you half of everything that I had and I'm having to sell my home, and basically could have done with some financial support. And both of them, even though they are very wealthy, have been too frightened to give money. So, and of course, because I looked after my mum for such a long time, when my dad left, quite, you know, and I would not change that for the world because she means the world to me. But at the same time, it triggers you to think, hang on a minute, I gave you half of everything. But it just shows how much fear can drive somebody to basically how fear stops you from doing things, basically. So that is the message today. So for anyone who has gone through, I'm sure we all go through really challenging times. But the reason why I say that is because there is, you know, when I look back and I think about it, if I hadn't been pushed into that situation to basically go from having a corporate job with a salary to suddenly having to, you know, make ends meet and do lots of different things, to be able to fend for myself, basically, I wouldn't be where I am now. And of course, at the time, you kind of say, oh, seriously, this is like, what is going on? But now, I can totally see why I was presented with that situation, because if my granddad or my mum had given me money, I wouldn't have been pushed to be so, you know, focused on doing everything else. Because as it goes, the sale of my flat has now taken almost a year and has been delayed because of a lease extension, right? And so of course at the time I was thinking, this is just, are you kidding me? Because I want to get it sold, so that's where my capital is in the flat. And I do a lamp business, and I can't push forward with the lamp business without capital. because of course it costs money to produce lamps, and it's, you know, to pay somebody to make them, and then we paint them and etc. But I guess the reason why I'm being sort of guided to share that with you is that whatever situations you're in, if it's a financial situation, it's been put there to also give you time to focus, right, on really expanding your faith and trust in the journey. And you know, I was faced with seeing head on the fear, how fear stopped my granddad and my mum from helping me financially, because they absolutely could have done. I mean, very much so. But of course they are driven by fear that they won't have enough, fear of lack, basically. And so I was faced with that, the mirror of that, all the time, which pushed me even further to think, no, I'm going to dream big, I'm going to dream bigger, and I'm just going to have complete and utter faith that at the right time, for me, I know that abundance will come in, right? Which is also why I put my healing price cheap, because I know what it's like, because I've been there, and I can, you know, I couldn't have afforded to spend lots of money on healings. So hence why I do a discount price all the time, because I've been there through this journey. So, but the point is, I guess, it's just because it's so bad, isn't it? Because it just, this obviously needed to come up to the surface to just let go of, and hopefully I can let go of it once and for all without feeling angry about it all the time. But it is, you know, this is why we are being pushed to move out of all fears and to just trust that the universe always will support us in everything that we do. Because even though it might not feel it at the time, you will always get given what the right thing is for you at that time. Because what's happened is, over the last couple of days, which is why I've not been able to do any healings, is because suddenly I have a Chinese student that wants to stay for 3 months in one of my rooms, which is amazing, and also changes the situation quite a lot, because obviously that is 3 months worth of daily rate, which is really good. So it changes things. So basically, yeah, so that's what I was saying. It's just basically be whatever you are being pushed to, then just know, Blondie, come here, come here, come here, come here. Look at that, a horse rider as well. The horse wins the race, by the way. Just know this, it's for a reason. It is definitely for a reason. So just trust, trust, trust. And if you're going through challenging times, it's because it's to push you to dream bigger. All right, well, that's my ramblings for today. And I'll be doing healings tonight and tomorrow, so I'm going to be catching up. All right, take care. Thank you. Bye.